Good morning, welcome to Scottie Crafts and Wendy's World. Today I'm very excited to tell you that our distress paints have finally arrived in from CHE.
Yay! We're just so excited. Oh, you're going to love these, ladies.
I can't wait to get my hands on them.
Oh, you've had some. I haven't had any yet.
The amazing thing about these paints, there's 24 colours in the range. They have a mixing ball in them, so you can shake it up. You can use them on a number of surfaces. So if Adrian just zooms around to my little canvases that I did with my friend Tim Holtz in his class at CHA, we've used them over the tissue tape, Tim's tissue tape. We've used them over like a texture paste. I think he calls it embossing paste. Very similar to our texture paste, but I love this. I'm hoping we get some of this in, Adrian. That's a large hint.
Okay.
The embossing paste. Over metal numbers. We did it over the key, the dial for the compass there, the Hessian background as well.
And these are great, they call them burlap in the States, but it's Hessian, basically Hessian canvases. And it's so cool, the texture, I'm going to go right in so you can see how the paints work on that texture of Hessian.
And also that's grunge board too, the new, and that's the new dye that's coming in. The
that film one,
film wheel.
Yeah, absolutely, very
cool. My name's
cool.
on one of those, most definitely.
And the moustache, you have to show them the moustache, what you did with it.
I chopped it in half.
Can you see there's one little piece over there and one little piece over there, because we don't like moustaches.
Well, I do, but I just wanted it something different on my canvas.
I don't like moustaches.
So, as I said, there's 24 colours in the range so far. He said that he's pushing for more. They have a little mixing ball in them to shake them up. They have a dauber top, which if you forget to put the lid back on, won't dry out. Unlike previous dauber paints, these ones are amazing. They have no fillers in them, so it means that you don't get that hard crust on the top of the dauber. So it makes it really, really easy to use them. They're very, very fluid colour. You can use them on stamps. So I've just popped one of Tim Holtz's new stamps onto a block. First off, you dab to get your paint on. So it's dab, dab, dab. And you'll go, oh my gosh, but it's going into all the background. But this, because it's got no fillers in it, it's nice, a thin, liquidy, milk-like paint. So dab over, then you swipe, just so that you're taking off all that excess, but you can see there's still colour on there. And I'm going to show you stamping on black card because it gives a really nice impression. You can stamp on any colour because this paint, once dry, will resist. So voila.
Isn't that cool?
And then to clean your stamp, you just basically mist it with a little water and dry it off with a wet wipe. Excuse me while I pop out of the scene there for a second. And if you haven't got time to do it straight away, what I do is just mist it and leave the little wet wipe sitting on the top and pop it aside to clean up later. So once this is dry, like the one I've done on a tag a little earlier, you can then use your distress inks or your distress stains over the top of it. So I'll show you some blending. I'll show you on a cream one because it'll actually show up better than on the brown. Ink up with the distress ink and blend in. I'll use a bit of darker brown as well on there. So with my ink applicator tool, love the ink applicator tool, don't know how I survived before.
Oh, that's showing up now.
Don't wrinkle it like I did. And then what you can do is once you've got it to that point, is you can mist over it with water, and what will happen is your inks will move, but the paints won't. Then you can blot, and you can see that white of the paint popping back out again.
That is amazing.
So
and now can you use your paints on top of the dry paint and it'll do the same sort of thing?
The paints you can move them around. I'll actually show you how you can move them around, but if you put paint over the top, you will cover your other paint unless you thin the layers down by spritzing water.
Okay.
So you can get depth of layers of colour, but if you put it on very solid like this, so here's tissue tape, this is one layer of the paint. So if I want to cover that, I can. So you imagine if that was a layer of paint underneath there, I would lose it.
Yeah.
Same as over the white. But watch this. So it will still pop out, but it's not a resist. This is on the surface.
Because it's the same thing on top of the same
Because it's the same on same, yeah. So your inks, it'll resist with all of your distress inks, your distress stains, your markers, any of those really water-based products that are designed to wick with water, whereas the paint will wick with water while it's wet. Once it's dry, it will not move. And this means on plastic, metal, all of those other surfaces, basically.
I love the way that you can still see some of the tissue tape through
the paint.
And then if you just rub over it a bit more, you'll see even more of it.
Or you could send it around on your paper with water and do your little dribble thing. You could also put like the paint onto your mat and do the tag bases like this, which Tim shows really, really well in his video.
Yeah, and we'll link that video as well, so watch
that's
for that.
Just putting a few colours down onto your matte surface and swiping the tag through. One of his favourite backgrounds, I'm sure.
Yes, I reckon. And they all just look so artistic, and really all he's done is put a bit of paint on his craft mat, mix it up, and
there
voila.
we go. You can then ink over the top of this as well. There's some walnut stain that I've inked over the top of it, and the beauty of that is once you put that on, you can then spray that with water and move it around, which is what I've done on my tag here. Another surface that I've done on this is the plastic packaging and also the ribbon. You can do these on fabric.
Oh, so that's a seam binding or any fabric?
Binding. Yeah, any fabric. So that includes your hessians, your canvases, seam binding, any fabric that you want. Even if it's got a pattern on it, you can actually put the paints over, put them on really thick, the pattern will disappear, water them down with a bit of water, and they will pop back out again.
So then the little cogs are in plastic.
The cogs are plastic.
Painted with paint?
Yeah, and then I've just inked around the edges with the archival ink and stamped just using one of Tim's background stamps.
And the little frame?
That's frame is metal. That's one of Tim's metal embellishments. And you can cover it completely, or, as I've done, just dab it lightly over the top so you just get like the impression of the other metal colour still coming through. This is stamping over the top with the white once I've actually put it on. Isn't that beautiful? To get a nice clear white over the top of colour. It is lovely. Amazing. I've also found out with these paints too, you can use any of your acrylic stamps. You can use your LeBlanc stamps. Any stamp basically will work so long as you clean it off before it has a chance for the paint to dry on the stamp.
So we're just going to show you some of the stamps. There's a LeBlanc stamp.
The tags would be stunning.
Yeah, no, those are clear stamps from Stampendous, and they really are quite stunning. We've got a heap of different ones in, and then there's some word stamps and, well, other cling rubber stamps from Stampendous too.
And the Diane Reveley ones.
Ah, you have to see these. Look at these. Can you imagine those on backgrounds? And then there's this one here as well. Very, very cool. We watched Diane Reveley. We're going to get her on a video too because she's just amazing. What a character.
That's just a little one that I stamped using one of the little clear stamps, a word stamp that we've got in our stash. So you still get really, really good clear imagery with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, now look at all the colours.
24.
Look at them. They are bright and beautiful. Oh, I just love them. Now these distress paints are going to be selling for $8.99 a bottle, but just this weekend we're going to be having 10 for $79.90, so that makes it $7.99 per bottle. Worth taking the 10, I'd say. I know Wendy's she's going to think, no,
those ones are mine.
She's going to take 2 lots of 10 and then wonder what she's going to do with the 4. Okay, ladies, you make sure that you get onto www.scottiecrafts.co.nz and look at distress paints on special this weekend under Wendy's World. Thanks for joining us.
See you soon.
Yay, bye.